Hey guys, welcome to part 3 of the 8 basic concepts of the hammer throw. Today we're going to do turns. Perhaps what everyone really wants to know about. It's usually the highest viewed videos on how to turn a hammer on YouTube. And yeah, so today we're going to do just a progression that I would normally teach a beginner that's never touched a hammer before, how to do footwork, and yeah, so this is going to be a pretty basic video. I'm going to show you some things to avoid while doing the turns. So for this, the only thing is I'm just going to work on the footwork. No upper body stuff for right now. That will come at a later date. Alright, so first drill. I don't have access to a track. So just imagine I have an invisible line right here. Alright? So the first drill you're going to do is you're just going to walk and just pitter patter. But you're going to walk around your left leg. Alright? So I'm not walking around in a circle. My left leg is a focal point. I'm speaking as a right-handed thrower. So for lefties, it would be a right leg. Alright, but so for righties, left leg. So you see how my left leg is just staying in place. I'm in a little quarter squat. My feet are close together. And I'm just walking. This is to get in the feeling of you just turning around your left side axis or your left foot. Alright? That's the first one. Nice and easy. Alright? Second one. Now we're going to add a little step. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 3 steps. Alright, so we're going to do 1, 2, 3. And then on this one, dip a little. Alright, so it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Alright, and you notice how I was going forward the entire time. So when I landed, so if I'm throwing towards the camera, it'd be 1, 2, 3, bump. Alright, and then 1, 2, 3, bump. Alright? That's the basic motion. Now you notice when I'm doing this, I'm not trying to stomp my foot. I'm dropping my left knee. My left knee makes me go down. So I'm not this, and my left leg isn't straight. So I'm not going like that. I'm going here. My right leg is just staying the exact same. All I'm doing is just dipping down. Alright? So that's a very important thing. We don't want to see this. Alright? You don't want your knees to go very high in the hammer. Some people do that. Me personally, especially for beginners, that's just too complicated. Keep the feet as close to the ground as possible. Bum, 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 bum. Alright? So, next one we're going to do is we're going to just go on, for the purposes, I will teach a heel turn first. So there are 2 ways to start your first turn out the back. There's a toe turn, like that, which is what 4 turners do. 3 turners start on the heel. Alright, and that's called a heel turn. Now, why? A toe turn, you don't move really as far across the ring as you do a heel turn. So heel turners, the reason 3 turners start with a heel turn is because you want to cover more space quickly because you're not doing 4 turns. 4 turners don't want to cover a lot of space on their first turn, so that's why they do a toe turn. All right. So if you're very few 4 turners heel turn. If any at all, really. I think almost every single 3 turner heel turns. All right. Now, of course, there are examples each and every way, whatever. But for the purpose of that, that's just basically the norm. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a heel turn. So you're going to start quarter squat. And for the purposes of this, you're going to just turn, and you see I'm on the heel of my left foot and the ball of my right foot. Now, if you notice when I'm doing this, I'm not straining this left leg. So a rule that I like to teach beginners, just stay in a quarter squat the entire time. All right, for right now, you never want to lock out your knees ever. All right, in the turns at least. So always stay in a quarter squat. For right now, we don't have a hammer in our hand. We're not doing anything. Just focus on footwork. Don't need to bring counter or whatever into this. All right, for the purposes of this, just 2 bent knees. Oops, sorry, my heel turn. My heel is down, my toes are up on my left foot, and then on my right foot's pushing into the ground and pushing me over my left. All right, so it'll be like this. All right, and what I like to do is think of this as you're gonna make an X with your feet, with your knees. So I don't want to go like this and then sweep around. All right, so I like to think of this as out the back and like shot and disc. You know, you don't want your left foot to, you know, leave the ground until your hips are facing the sector. Otherwise, you know, it'll look like that. Same thing in hammer. All right, you want to make an X with your feet. So let me do this facing the camera. I'm here. Oops, wait, let me do a heel turn. I'm here. And you see how my hips are facing right here. And from here, I'm on the side of my foot. And I just step. All right, so instead of the it's just that. All right, so that's a heel turn. Once again, let me do it from the side. So I'll be here. Let me not turn on that. Here, bum, bum, bum. All right, so to break this down, you can go 90, 180, step, and then back to 0. All right, so that's the heel turn. Toe turn. Here, same thing, except now I'm on the toe. It's important when you do this, you don't let this left heel go up. Otherwise, you lose your counter and you're gonna fly forward. So keep the heel close to the ground. You're just gonna be on the ball of your foot. So it's gonna be here and there. All right, so yeah. So that's basically it for the how to actually do the turns. All right, so as you start doing this drill, if you speed it up, you're just gonna actually just start doing turns. So if I speed this up, all right, I don't have a lot of room, but eventually you'll just start to actually just turn. Now, a few things you want to look out for. Let me just look at the time. Oh, wow. Okay, we're good on time. All right. Whew, sorry. Had a workout right before this. I'm a little out of breath. Whew, all right. So, a few things you want to look out for. Hammer is very different with how you throw it compared to shot and disc. For hammer, the implement moves you. So what you don't want to do is you don't want the hammer to go here and then you just turn and twist your hips. The hammer will go ahead of you and then you just turn. All right, you don't want to do this because look at where I am. The hammer's so far behind me and now I'm going to rip with my left shoulder. Or if I let the hammer go ahead of me, which is why I like to think of the X, because I want to basically stay on the double support or both feet on the ground as long as possible. And then as you get better, and the hammer goes faster, this won't look like this really that much on video. Your right foot will pick up earlier just because everything's just happening faster. But for the purposes of a beginner who's not throwing like 60 to 70 meters, just think here, step, here, step, here, step. The other important thing, you don't want, once your hammer is here at 0, you don't want the first thing to do is to turn your left foot. All right, so you don't want to go like this. All right, it's not shot or disc. The hips do not initiate the start. The hammer does. So what we don't want is that, because that will cause pulling and drag, and your orbit to be the opposite of what it wants to be. Good Lord, I need to start running more. Whew. Hammer is tiring. All right. Whew. Sorry for my heavy breathing. All right. Where was I? Oh, yes. Okay. So we don't want that. We want, once your your hammer is by your right knee, this will go into your left. So it'll be here and then go. All right? So that's very important. The next thing you want to avoid is sweeping around. So you notice on all these turns, the reason why you want this is because you want to avoid that. Now there's a couple reasons. One, it's slow. 2, you're going to fall. 3, you're going to land super wide here. And now this is a very weird position to turn instead of here. All right, so we want to avoid. All right, if I actually had a hammer in my hand, I'm flying in the air. All right. So you want to keep the knees close together. Like you'll see sometimes some hammer throwers and like no context throws or whatever. And when they go to turn, they'll clip their heel. And people are like, oh, that's a bad thing. That just sometimes happens. It's better than going wide. A lot more worse things can happen. And I know, sorry, grammar police. All right, so you want to just go here, turn all the way. Once the hammer is at its high point, you dip underneath. Notice how I say dip. So if I'm throwing toward the camera, here, I'm not stomping. You notice when I stomp, I'm not actually dropping my left knee. Now you want to drop your left knee because you want to be under the hammer. I'm going to get into more of that with the counter. I think that is next week. So I'm not going to get that much into that. But for turn purposes, you don't want to stomp. 1, you're just going to get shin splints for no reason. 2, it's slow. And 3, you're not going to be as stable. Because when you stomp, you're going to want to pop up. Once you pop up, if the hammer is at its high point when you're up, so say I'm throwing and I go like that, I'm flying in the air. I'm just screwed. All right. So as the hammer goes, just like in the wind video that we did, I think that was the first part 1. Just like in the winds, when the hammer is behind you or at its high point, you want to be forward. Here, you want to be back. So as you go, you do your entry, which we talked about last week, right here, and you go here, and you dip. Hammer's at its high point. I'm dipping under to counter it. Now as I go here, now I'm sitting back. So I'm here. I'm sitting back, the hammer's trying to pull me forward, and I'm countering back. All right, so that's very important. But for the purposes of just learning basic, just start with just turning around your left and just doing a little pitter patter. Now don't go like that, don't go like that. Just little baby steps. All right, and then go 1, 2, 3, bump. 1, 2, 3, bump. All right, and then here, go here. I'm on the heel, on the ball. Keep going. See, I picked up too early with my right foot. I want to go here, and then just sink down. Now, when you actually have a hammer and you're throwing, an important rule. one, like I stated earlier, you don't want to turn this first because that opens my left side and then I start pulling. 2, you don't want to enter single support until the hammer is at least at 90 or in line with your left shoulder. So what I mean by that, I don't want the hammer to be here and I pick up, because then you slow down, you lose your counter, and you've lost your entire system and you're screwed. So you want to at least get to here before you enter single support. As you get faster, moving the ball, and better, you know, it will start to go from here to here when you pick up. All right, but when you're just learning and you're just doing like turns on the track or something, just go here and bum. Make sure you stay in double support as long as possible. All right, and yeah, so some drills, literally just doing that, just this whole progression. You can have a hammer in one hand, the hammer in the other, and just do these. You can just have the hammer and just keep the hammer on the track. I don't have a hammer, so I can't show you, but just look up just hammer turn drills, and I'm sure that's like a universal basic one that everyone does when they're just starting out. All right, so you can look it up if you want to actually know what it looks like with a hammer in someone's hand. But yeah, anyway, that's pretty much it. I thought this video would actually be a lot longer, but I guess not. Let me know if you have any questions. And yeah, so again, this was just lower body. I know I hinted at some upper body and whatnot. So next week will be the counter, explaining that, and push-pull and all that. So anyway, thanks for watching and have a good one. Bye.